What's going on, everybody? So I wanted to create this because I'm tired of seeing the same stuff on Reddit and questions asked just over the net in general. When it comes to the Saturnian carbon, sorry, when it comes to the Saturnian carbon, this guy is not bad at all. I'm going to, might not be the best video because I'm going to add a bunch of cuts together for this, but so I wanted to go over, I'm tired of seeing the same questions asked about this machine. So at least for the variety of normal ones that I see most common asked and complained about, with this machine, every now and then you will get on here, it will be sent it will say that this cannot, camera cannot be displayed, or something along with the camera error. All you got to do is turn it off in the back, and then turn it off, unplug it, turn it back on with it unplugged, and kind of cycle it a couple times, drain the capacitors out of here, plug it all in, turn it back on, and then it should be good. If you do not, or it is not working, you will have to take this, flip it over, and underneath it you'll have to unscrew everything and check the connection on the motherboard. That's generally probably what it's going to be if you have it more than once in a row, or one time. Every now and then I'll get it, but generally it's, I don't know, it's either something with my computer or here, so I just shut it off and do it, and it works like a champ. A quick way to do a quick cleaning on this, because people complain about this thing being somewhat tedious to do. I think it's very easy. I take this microfiber cloth, and I just did this a little bit ago, and then you just run it through. So I'll do the bottoms because there's still a little grease. And you just run it through and push it in and run it all the way up and down, and then eventually, which you can kind of see, it's kind of wet right there. All I do is, there it is. I got that working on the bottom piece. My whole drawer for it. Anywho, take this. I cut it in a slit, so it's at an angle, and then I just take it and run it down. Very, very thin line, run it down on each line, and then you just move this bad boy up and down, and then collect everything that's sitting right at the bottom right here and just wipe it up. When it comes to these, I'll take a little bit of this and dab it on my finger, and then I will just run it on the bar up and down, because then I can get underneath it very easily and just wipe it up and down all the way around on all of them, and then move this guy back and forth, and then back and forth, side to side, all the way to side to side. And then what happens is, let's see if I can, yeah, I got a little pool right here. You can see right here, I got that little line right here because it's pooling up a little bit. So generally I just wipe that up, and then you'd be good. Same thing with that one, and then you just wipe up the excess. Very, very easy. I'm trying to speed run this. I don't want to make a video too long. Let's see. I'm gonna go over. Let's see. When it comes to printing with PLA, at least for myself, I have the bed temperature at 55 to 60. At least with this, I don't know, whatever kind of random filament I got from Wish. It was a free thing. Gave it a shot for my kid. It's been printing pretty good, actually. But when it comes to a PLA, at least with this silk so far, and eSuns, I've been keeping the back fan off. The only fan that's been running is the exhaust, but the actual one that comes through here, the inlet, when that brings fresh air in, that's completely off. I just have it off because it's been overcooling my PLAs on the backside. At least this is what the issue I was getting is on the backside of the plate, because this is right next to this, is blowing cold air all along here. This is the worst corner when I have PLA. I'm not too sure why. I have to add support just to protect this corner. For the first 3 layers, when I was first testing it out, this wasn't blowing, and then it would blow after the first 3 layers, and it would still peel up and super warp. I got sick of it, so I kept it off. That was my lesson learned with the back fan. You can get the mod to recirculate it instead, which is something I will be getting, or I will be printing. I just haven't yet. I'm still working on this. Building the stand for this bad boy takes a lot more than I was anticipating. Each one of these big boys is, I think it was around 800 grams, so pretty much 1 roll each. That's why you see them different colored, because I ran out of the black, so I did the pink, and then I ran out of the green, so I did the black. So yeah, anyways. Do not use the metal scraper that comes with this. Just buy yourself something like this. As you can see, been tearing it up. But on Temu, I got it for like $5. It came with 2 of these, but I already snapped one of these bad boys right here. It broke off right here. I guess I could just reprint one of these, which is cool. But yeah, it comes with a bunch of the little cutters with this. It was like $5. I do not recommend leveling your bed every time. It's a waste of time unless you really want to. You can just set it and forget it. I will do a bed level every time I mess with any of the axes. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Or I do like any hardware or kind of any change. I will then do that. Other than that, I did it one time. That was it. When I was doing the bed leveling. And when it comes to bed leveling, there is a issue that used to be reported for, I guess, something about this, the bed hitting this piece. Mine hasn't had that issue. I did mess with the G code, so it nicked this. It didn't lift the head slightly to go over the bin, so it accidentally nicked this. But I was messing with the G code. I got a really good solid G code now. Works like a champ. I would recommend, if you so choose, I will put it in the comments. You can use the G code I use. Very easy for this bad boy. I enjoy it. It heats up the bed first, then it'll do the nozzle, because the nozzle heats up so quickly. And I was running an issue where it would heat that up, and then it would have to keep it hot while this is heating up, which takes forever. So I reversed it. That way this bad boy, since it's sitting back there while the bed is heating up, it'll be sitting right here. And then this will heat up, and then once it heats up, that will purge and then come over here and then do lines and start printing. So it's very quick, and it saves all the energy to heat this up first, which is nice. And then it works on all the other components, and it can use the bulk of it first for this and then worry about everything else. People ask about using the carbon fiber stuff. It's not bad. It has its own use cases. Very slim, but it definitely does. If you noticed, I got tape over here. Oh, that was another thing I should go over. I have tape over this just because this thing's very bright when I was looking at it through a video, because I was doing some streaming. So I put tape over it and kind of disperses it a little bit better. But you will notice while you're printing at certain times, this light will flicker. It is going to do that because it's sharing the same current as something in here. When I was doing my research, it's sharing the same circuit, so it's not individually powered. So therefore, when this print head starts going really fast, and like especially when I'm doing my, not ironing, I forgot what it's called when you're, or maybe it is ironing. Yeah. Anyways, when it's doing the special stuff for texture on the outside, this will start flickering because it's vibrating very fast and very small. So just so you know, that's normal. It's going to happen. You can avoid it if you want by installing a aftermarket LEDs into it. You can just buy like a LED bar, and then you can go into a USB device and you can just plug it into the wall or whatever you want. I don't really care because that bad boy is definitely bright enough. So when you load it, you hit the load, that will heat up, and then it's gonna say like load filament or something like that. You put it all the way in, go around the loop, and then just put it to where you can't push it anymore. And you do need to check that it's around this bend right here, because it does have a hard time getting in this bend. Sometimes. Depends on your filament. Once you do that, and you push it all the way there, just leave it, and it will automatically start running the gears and pulling it through and doing its poop. All you need to do is go right here and check to make sure the poop is coming out. That's all you got to do. And if you don't see a good enough amount, you can always go back to the home screen and home this into the middle and bring this bad boy up to the middle, and then just on the far side hit the extrude and it'll start pooping. And bing bada boom, you're good. Also, another thing that I saw, commenters, when you are using filament that has carbon fiber or glass fiber, change the nozzle to a 0.6. The 0.4 you can get to work. The problem is you have to go to a specific filament maker, because a lot of other filament makers, when they're using their glass fibers or carbon, when they're using the fibers in the filament, it will get clogged in here because they're using too big of pieces. I believe it's Polymaker, if I'm not mistaken. You'll need to Google, because I haven't used any fiber filaments yet. I believe you could get away with a 0.4 with Polymaker because their fibers are smaller. They're better ground up inside the filament. Just as a heads up. So a lot of the times, a lot of the times if you go on Reddit or just Google in general and you ask about this continuously getting clogged due to using whatever fiber filament, it's generally because you're using an 04 and you're probably not using Polymaker's filament. So if you are having clogs and you're trying to do a 04, try using Polymakers. If not, and you're cool just buying a new nozzle, buy a 0.6 nozzle. Anywho. I do see people complaining that this is not quiet, and it is not. It's not super loud either. The loudest two fans that I hear generally is going to be side fan right here for keeping the hot end cooled down, especially when you're done printing and it's just sitting back there or wherever you have it. It's just it will not turn off until I think it's below 70 C, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. But mainly it's that fan right there, that bad boy. That one, oh, here, let me go up top. There we go. That one, not bad at all. This one, the inlet one that's shooting this fresh air right here, is loud. That is probably the first actual purchasable mod that I would do. I have not done it yet. Buying the fans for this whole machine total, if you're buying new fans, is about right around $100. If you're replacing the blower, this little side fan with the Noctool one, both of these with the Winschneer, I don't know the name of it that I was looking up, but it has a WINN or a SS or something like that in the name, for those. And then of course the other loud fan that you generally will hear is up in here. It's for your motherboard or your MOBO. It is also loud. Generally, it's this one, this guy, and that bad boy that you're gonna hear. This one's not that loud, not really. Even at 100, it's all right. It's not really that bad. Same thing with that bad boy. It's pretty quiet, to be honest with you, especially if you have all of this on, you're printing PETG, you hardly hear it. Like I said, most of the time what you're hearing is the exhaust, or the inlet coming in from here. It's generally what I hear. They obviously have a mod to change that and to just have it a recirculator. It has a plate there, and then the fan goes down below on most of them. Most of the mods, it's... Oh, shit. Usually sitting right down there, and then it just blows up into this tube and then out, and then it obviously blocks that back. I don't really care for it. I don't really feel like wasting filament, so I just changed in the G code to change the temperatures of that, or for the temperature, sorry, the speed of it. So like when I'm printing PLA, it doesn't turn on till like the 5th layer, and even when it does, it's only turning on to I think 30 or 35%, somewhere around there. So I have it really dumbed down. When you're using this, or you're trying to do the slicer, like the filament settings and all that, it doesn't really, maybe, is it filament? Forgot exactly what it was. But I definitely know on here, it does not let you go below 50%. Stupid Elegoo. Stupid. I have it down to 30. I changed it, if I remember correctly, in the G code. Anyways, that is another thing I just wanted to add on to this. I see people talk about or ask the filament sensor. Yes, it will keep printing even if it run out and it hits this and that light goes off because it ran through. It will keep printing all the way up until it gets to about right here, because the printer has the pre-software of how long that tube is for the runout sensor, or the firmware I should say. So don't worry if it runs out and it keeps printing, you're like, oh my god, it will stop. That's how I level mine manually. Raise your bed up, grab your glue stick or chapstick or something, and you raise it up and you bring it down to where it almost barely goes underneath that bar. Then you lift it back up and it touches there, and it's touching, and you just check all the corners above the bolt, and then when you're ready, do the front. You just check on each edge, make sure it's touching. Bing bada boom. And then at the same time, my bed is slightly floating, so anyhow, all the way around. Deuces. I would also like to just go over some mods that I've done. Obviously you see the head and this little riser. This is really all I need, because even when I have this on, it will barely touch this, and I mean barely in certain spots, so I don't really worry about it. If you want to save your filament, just print the little one. You could also, if you wanted to, you could get away with just printing these corners. There are some other ones that will raise the corners up higher if you just want to do the corners and you're just trying to raise it up. I like something that's more finished, so when it's all together, sadly it has these lines, but when it's all together, it's, you know, it looks clean. And eventually I will have that drawer underneath here and I'll sit up higher, because right now this is me looking straight across. So obviously raising that little guy, give you a good reference of it for a chair, just to show you how high I sit. That's how high I sit, so definitely want to raise it up. Another mod that I did just to help sealing it in is this bad boy. Small, very easy. Did I do anything else? Oh, no. And then other than that, print this guy for sure. This is for pulling your little hot end off, all the little plugs underneath. You just pop it in there and pull it. And as for this, I want to explain why. Besides this looking seamless and not using as much filament, which is nice compared to those big ones, I don't really need a vent. I'll just take it off, sit on top of the box of my filament. For this, the reason I went with this, yes, it's lighter. It's going to be a little easier for it to, move around, less stress. The reason I did it is because it's screwed in. So this whole thing, I'm yanking on this bad boy. This is what I get to do with it. I don't have to worry about it popping off. When you're using this, because it is magnetic, wherever the, wait, is this isn't this a magnetic piece? I think, right? Thought this was. Or is it? No. Alright. Well, if I remember, I thought, yeah, because this pops in. Yeah. Alright. Sorry, just looking over here. So yes, this is definitely magnetic. The reason why is it'll be on, push this back. It'll be on your printer and it'll be moving around, and if it hits something, it can, because it pops up here, because when you put it on at the top down, and then it snaps on, or magnetics on. So when you're going and it bumps something, it pops off. So a lot of people will change it just because of that. Other people say, the same thing I just said, because it's lighter, it'll help better prints or whatever. I don't care. I really don't. There's not really many more mods that I truly actually would suggest. I mean, really, you don't even need this. You can just take off your glass piece, call it a day. I still need to buy this little foam stuff and actually put it all the way around this bad boy to make it look nicer. I'm not too sure why it has these in here. I haven't really looked at the pictures to see why it has this, but for whatever reason. Anyways, yes, mainly the only mod that I actually would suggest is to do that little plug one for your runout sensor. Truly, that, and then, I mean, it really just depends on what you're printing, but I do like this. The reason I suggest that is if you're printing higher temperature filaments, that is going to help seal it in. So when you put all this in, and then you print the mod to vent this out a nice window, it will make it even better. The only other mod, which I haven't done yet because I'm looking at alternative methods, is to print that seal thing that goes here. I don't think I'm going to. I think what I want to do is just buy like a I don't know, some kind of just like spongy piece, because when I pull it away, it'll be fine, and then when I push it, it can just squeeze against it. And then I would like to figure out how to finish sealing this little corner up right here, because it doesn't really need it, because it's not going to impede that much. So I know maybe I can stick some like foam piece up there or something, but I'm not printing with ASA or ABS or Peak or anything yet. I will. I have a motorcycle. I'm gonna need parts.